Hello, welcome back to the grind on the 1976 BMW 2002 E10. Any other way you want to talk about it? I've been wiring, more wiring. So I figured out a bunch of stuff, and I don't even remember what. I'll have to check. I'll put it in the description what I got done. But most of it was like I've got all those relays in place, all these relays into a nice holder up there. Those things are in the right spot now. Those are, I don't even know what they are. They're, well, yes I do. They're controllers. This is a controller for the automatic choke. This one's a controller for the vacuum advance and retard, but only advance on this car because there's no retard. Well, maybe there is, maybe it's advanced all the time, and who knows. I put in a ballast resistor here because I found out that this green wire that I had replaced with the wire that burnt was a resistor wire. And I also found out the reason the resistor wire got burnt was because this thing here was shorting it out somewhere. But I'll follow up that later. I don't know where. Maybe I've got something hooked up wrong. No, I think it was hooked up wrong before. Or, anyhow, it shorted it out. This is hooked together pretty close to right. A couple of wires still missing, but maybe that one's just supposed to hang around. I don't know. I could likely find a place to put it. I think it's a green and white, so we put it up here with the green and whites. Don't know. Helpful was this diagram here, off of I found on the internet, and very helpful was this picture from there's a company that makes a new that will make a new fuse box, and it uses new type of fuses, has little LED lights in there to tell you if it's blown, and I forget their name, but I'll put a link to them in below here. And this is part of their video for installation of the new thing, and it actually worked out all right. Then all the battery still hooked up, yeah. So all the lights on the dash seem to be coming to life. I was able to find most of the connections, but now you turn it on and you got a ignition light, a brake light, a low pressure oil pressure light. The temperature gauge does this. Fuel gauge, haven't got any action out of that yet. And the blinker lights, I did test them. That's a blinker light and that's a high beam light, and they work. The lights work, so things are okay there. And the ignition seems to work. And I did figure out how to get this. This is the starter relay, and it hooks onto the ignition up here in number 50. Then it goes into that connector, and this is, if you have a standard car, you don't have that stuff. You just have this wire right here into the ignition. Anyway, that's all there. I can turn off this light while I'm here, eh? There we go. Then all the wiring has got back to the back of the car and everything like that. So anyway, stick around, you'll see it all, and please enjoy it. Things are improving. Oh, ignition switch, starter switch, right? So this is number 30 gets 2 reds, which is okay. Number 50 gets a gray, black and white, black with white. Number 15 gets 2 reds, 2 greens, that's green. And then there's an R, which gets a violet one or purple, and a P, which gets this gray wire. Turn indicator, low beam switch. Okay. All right, so I think I've got it. Here, I had it on here. There we are. Don't know if you can see all this, but there's 2 things here are 30. That's the R, that's the 50. This has to be 15, and that has to be P, because this has got 2, and that's separate one's got. So this one here, 30 gets what? 30 gets red. These 2 get red. R gets violet, 50 gets black and white. So red, violet, black and white, green, and gray. I think I can figure that out. Because the wires are hanging there, they're just hanging there. You have to put them on individually. Okay, I made myself a diagram. 30 gets red. There's two red. I know there's reds there. Purple goes to R. 50 black and white. 15 is green. There's two green wires there. And this gray wire, P, comes down from the signal light switch. So should be everything in there. And then this is the steering columns on this side of it. So you're looking at it from the bottom up here. So the top of it would be two reds. This would be a purple on the left hand side. Well, be the right hand side. Left hand side. Oh, who knows? And black and white. Then two greens and a gray. Now I'll see if I can get that translated into the car. Oh, there's all those wires on the ignition switch, the way that the diagram says it should be. And the only one I'm missing is a gray wire. This wire here hooks up to the, that's the windshield wiper stuff. And that one there is the, whatever you call that thing, blinker switch, right? And high-low beam, we think. Anyway, don't know that for sure. These wires here just seem to come together. Should be a connector for that somewhere. Something for that to hook onto. We'll find that. Don't know what it is, but it'll be something. Okay, I'll just keep on digging. Now, strangely enough, I think I've got all the wiring figured out. This thing here must sit right here, and that one there. I forget. From way back when, I forget where things went in my 2002, but I do remember. I must have had an earlier one because this has got signal light on the left hand side, and I remember my signal light was on that side over there. Must have been the 1974 variety I had before. Maybe? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, because I don't remember all this. It wasn't as complex as this car is in the electrical department. Anyway, we'll just carry on and see what I can come up with next on my list, which is I could run this wiring to the back and get that out of the way, and that'd be, that'd be just easy. Right into the back there. Maybe I'll do that. That'll get some of the wiring out of the way, and then I know where it all goes, right? Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, these wires here, they come into the center of the car for some reason. Could it be seat belts, maybe? Maybe underneath here, seat belts? Don't know. Could be seat belts switch thing. Then this one here, this is for when you pull on the handbrake, it should light up something on the dash. That one there, I don't know what it's for yet. Find out sometime. And then the rest of this wiring goes to the back of the car, except some of it. We'll get into that in a minute or two. Hang on. Okay, I'm underneath again for a minute or two. So these ones here, that one, oh, can you see in here? Anyhow, the top and the bottom are the reverse lights. So they just go to themselves. This one here, one of these other connectors goes to a ground, and the third and the fourth one goes to the ignition starter relay safety switch. So I can figure that out. That was what I was trying to figure out. But there's not a connector that goes on there. It's all just individual wires. I got like here on the wiring diagram. I'm figuring it out on the wiring diagram. Like there's a 15 and a 15. Where is it? Yeah, this is the thing here. 50 and 50 is there, and whatever these two numbers are, I forget. I could read it on here. Yeah, 15 and 15 on there, 50 and 50. So 15 and 15, they hook into a purple wire and a blue wire. this one here gets a brown wire that goes up to the starter relay, number 85 on the starter relay. Now I can find that because I know where that wire is. So all I need is one wire going down to there, and then the other one goes to a ground. But it could have the two wires into there, one for ground and one for otherwise. Well, I guess they were really the only ones that I was worried about, because the rest of them I can figure out as we go. They're just, the rest of them is all, emission control stuff that's all over the place on it. So I can figure that out later. Okay, I can maybe get the car to run. Yeah, here's a wire that was hid away inside there and not in great shape. And then it's got this connector here onto a wire, and that wire there, so this must be a lighter gauge wire that got hot. Anyhow, this does that look like a factory connection? I don't know. Could be. Anyhow, I'll put the green wire on there and see what we can come up with. Yeah, there, that's put back together with new wire, and I ran it into that part of the loom. Don't know whether I'll get it through the rest of it there. I'll see what I can do about getting it through that stuff. Yeah, so I put the carburetor on, and it maybe solves a couple more puzzles. As the wire goes here, I think that's the right wire, black one. That wire, that should go then to the coil, because that'll, don't know where it goes. Can't say that. When it gets energy, it shuts off. When it loses energy, it shuts off the gas. I'll just check and see what happens when I turn the key on. If I get there someday, these things here go to those. Oh no, I don't know where they go. That could be anywhere, but they've been somewhere. Those ones go to those funny things. This is a retard relay, and this is the choke relay. So like that's why I'm thinking that the choke is that green and brown wire there. Anyway, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We'll just keep on puzzling through it, and that's enough for today anyhow. So I'll do more. I'll come tomorrow and do more puzzling. It's a puzzling thing. Yeah, here I am back at it, and yay, saved by the internet once again. Now I found on the internet all these diagrams of how this stuff goes together, and I found out this clear wire here. That, remember, I took it apart yesterday and I found this clear wire. That's the resistor wire. So I'll exchange that out and put a ballast resistor in, a 1.5 ohm ballast resistor. But that wire goes to the 15 side on the coil. The coil's got numbers on it. That number over here is a 1. That number over here is a 15. 15 side is the where the energy comes in. So there's black and red comes in there, and this one there, which I think come out of the same whatever. Anyhow, and then this black wire. This is black wire is mostly if you. It's who knows what it does. Anyway, it's there. It counts revolutions so that the motor knows that there's a little tiny computer in that thing here, which I can't find this, that says how many revolutions the motor is doing, I guess. Who knows? Something like that. Anyhow, all these things, like there's how it all sets up for the emission control stuff, which I need to know. Smog stuff, which is basically the same thing, but need to know. Oh, that one's upside down. Dash pot extender, that's for the that dash pot right there. Throttle thing. So I need to know that. And this one here is fuse number 12. 0.9 ohm resistor wire, so I've got a 1.5 ohm thing coming along. And that, all this stuff is very helpful. Plus, photos of how it should look, where it should be. Like this stuff here, that stuff there should be over there somewhere. I'll figure out how to get it on there. I might have to build a couple of things or make it go on there. Then this stuff here goes right here. There's a couple of spots I know there's right there where they're supposed to be. Maybe those pieces are round, but I didn't know what they were. But now I do, so might be able to get it all together now. Yay. Anyway, anybody wants copies of these things, just send me a note and I'll get you copies of them all. I've got them all on my computer. Okay, bye. That's good. Yeah, so I brought over a couple of buckets full of stuff from the other shop. One there, one there, one there. Screws and things like that I had taken off the car. And I found this, which 2391128 is the serial number. So I figured I'd put this back where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to have a little sticker here for another thing, but I forget what that was. That's the same number, 2391128, and there's a number right there on the motor, same number. So that's like it's all the same car from 50 years ago, which is kind of encouraging. I like that. Now, I'll carry on back with the, go back to putting in stuff. This goes here somehow or other, right there. That fits in there, and then that blue wire comes around to there, so that gives me some clues about where stuff goes, and I'll see if I can find those brackets that go on there. If not, I'll build some brackets. Well, got lots of it figured out here. So these wires, that's a black wire, and it's got its own single carrier, but this goes to the distributor, and then it also goes along there, and it'll get into the rev counter, the speed relay, which is that one, right? This is the speed relay. I don't know why it's called a speed relay, but that's what it is, speed relay. This one here is the choke relay on that side. It's a 4-pin, and the retard relay, which is actually the advanced relay, is on this side, and it's a 5-pin. Then that's just a ground strap. This thing here is the it usually would sit right there in a holder of some sort, maybe right about there, but the holder isn't apparent yet. It might be here sometime. I might find it. That goes there. This is a ground wire. Maybe I'll just stick that through and put it in with those ground wires. Maybe. And then where was I going with this? But then all these wires that go across here, I still haven't figured out what these guys here do. A brown wire. This is actually brown with green, and this one's red with black, or green with black or something. Black and red. Black and red. Now, last I heard they go to the heater blower, but I don't know. They're in here somewhere. Now, this wire here doesn't get used, that red. Like each one of these things is color coded. There's a white one, the white cap, a black one for the black cap, so you can't get it wrong. It's, you know, that's the way it is. That's all for the wiper whopper motor, which I've got going through the wrong spot. There should be a hole there for it, but there isn't. Anyway, that's okay. And this ground strap here is all right. I might put another ground strap on below somewhere just to make sure. So what I might do now is I might get, what I will do now, no mites about this, I'll put the alternator on, and then that will get those wires looked after, because I think I'm getting pretty close to having it wired. And then I did test out my key thing, and it seems to turn. Everything works. There's no real stoppers. You gotta, you know, when it's running, you just turn it to there and then let it go back, so it'll be at the right spot. This thing here is wired up. There's only one wire goes in the back of that, so I do believe there's enough wires on it to make the car run. If I got that far, I might just turn on the electricity and see what happens. See how many fuses blow, right? Anyway, but that's, these ones here are mostly right. That I got to put the distributor in, which I have right over there. Now they talk about advanced retard distributors, but this one here has only an advance function. It doesn't have an advanced retard on it. So that's fine. Doesn't, like, it's just whatever they decided to put in that day, right? Then this should go, this is the, from the manifold. So maybe I should plug that one in. I saw a manifold plug here somewhere. Yeah. What's this one here doing? That, a couple of wires there. Wonder what they do. Don't know what they do. They gotta go somewhere. They were somewhere before, so they'll go somewhere again. I'll figure it out as we get along. Eventually I'll figure it out. Maybe they go down to the no, I've got the wires going down to the bottom there. Maybe that's reverse lights. I'll just check and see if that's the right color for reverse lights, because it might, they might get on and tag onto the reverse lights. That makes some sense, because I don't have any wires yet for them. These wires here, there's a green with black that goes on. This is the air temperature switch, or air temperature sensor, and then a green and white goes to here, green and white goes to here. So that must turn on, like at a proper temperature, that must turn on the green and white wire somehow or other. Create the ground for it. Oh well, who knows. Yeah, these might go downstairs there, down below. We'll just, maybe not. Maybe not. I'll look at the wiring diagram and see what color is supposed to be in there. Then, that would answer that question. Well, I think I showed you that. I got that riveted back on there. Yeah, I did. It's got the proper numbers everywhere. And this thing here, that goes over there somewhere. That, the wiring loom comes through. I put that speed relay on there. The other two relays, I got to get them hung up still, but I put this ground strap on. I put a new hole in the car and put a ground strap right there to it and made it clean. So that's all right. Then the next I'm going to do is see about getting those relays into the proper place. I did figure out what this thing here, this goes down to the transmission, but then where does it hook in above here? I don't know. I think we'll figure that out as we get along here. Oh, well, yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, that's coming up. There, that's enough for the day. I'm going to see if I can make kind of a thing like this to go on there and hold the relays. Here's those two relays just hanging around here. See if I make a thing to hold the relays on here where they're supposed to be. It's going to look a little bit like that. I'll see what I can do. See what I can do on the 3D printer. Might be okay. Okay, back at it. Now, this is a ballast resistor, 1.9 ohms ballast resistor, or 0.9, or I don't even remember. Anyhow, I'll just check the ohms on it. And it's hooked into this green wire, which used to be the resistor wire. And so I put it in there. I'll just check the ohms on that and see what it is. Yeah, that one there is 1.7. I'll just, here, have a look here. Can you see those numbers on there? Right there. So when you touch these things together, touch the two of them together, you get 0 ohms, right? Or 0.4 ohms, 0.3 ohms just on these, right? Should be 0, but I guess they're dirty. And when you put it on here, 1.7, 1.8, so it's about 2 ohms, because I'm getting 0.3 on the other thing, eh? 0.3 when I put them together. 0.3 of an ohm, 0.2 or 0.3 of an ohm when it's just touching each other, plus this what here creates, that's 1.9 where I'm sitting right now, plus 1.8, 1.9, so it's 2 ohms, give or take a bit, which is good. That'll be fine. Yeah, so the resistance on this wire, which is all burnt up, is 1.3 ohms. So 1.3, 1.9, well, I guess would be all right. What the hell? And I'm doing the math backwards here, so it's 1.7 or 8 minus 0.3 is 1.4 ohms for that. That one there, 1.5, or the wire is 1.5 or something like that, minus 0.3 is 1.2. So anyhow, there you go. I don't know. Oh, did I show you this? Here I built everything's black on black, but you see this thing right here? I did that up on the 3D printer for holding these two relays here, and I'm printing another one to hold these ones. It's on the printer right now, but it's got, oh, I just need some light here, right? So these, I've drilled a couple holes in the back so that these tie wraps can go through like that, and then I'll put those relays in them, tie them down, and that'll be that. They'll be good for, that's a good holder, because the holder is gone. This thing here is in the box of stuff. It's made in Germany, and if I went online I found a thing that looked like it. It's an engine coolant thermostat, but I don't know that it fits on this car anywhere. So I've got a thermostat right here, and there's nowhere for that to plug into. Not knowing, so another not knowing. We'll just let it. I'll have a spare piece at the end of it all, right? Yeah, let's put the alternator and the air pump in, shall we? And now the alternator wasn't too tough. It's in there and it's got the adjustment on it, right? Right down there. I need a bolt on there. But this air pump, to be able to get, there's a long bolt that goes from this side over to that side. You can't put it in from that side because that's in the way. And just to get it in there it took me an hour. Now it's in there, it's hanging there, so that's good. I'll figure out how to, I think there's a thing for tightening it up down there. I'm going to get going to get the belts on it, and then from then we'll see how it looks. Okay. Yeah, there, that belt's on. Looks pretty straight for the air pump. And I still have to tighten up this one back here, but I've got the bottom ones tightened up okay, and the adjusters tightened up. So I'll go up top now and see if I can get the belt for the fan belt on. Okay, that's next. Yeah, there we are. That's alternator in, wires are on, everything. Now, eagle-eyed amongst you will see that bolt there. It should be in the other way with the head on this side and the nut over there, because that comes, it doesn't touch, but it comes close to the threads, close to the bolt there. Anyway, one day when I have more energy, I'll look after that. But right now, energy is done. Okay, now that's all for today. That was, you know, hours and hours of work just to get those two things in. But I did get that on there, that holder. And when I go in the house, I'll show you what the 3D printer looks like for a holder for these things. Okay. Yeah, so there's 3D printer did it thing. It's got all this extra, and that's for support, so it doesn't come apart, because I had holes drilled in it there, and there's some things across there for the straps to go through. Anyway, there, that's pretty solid, and I'll screw that in because I've got screw holes built into it here and here, and they're even tapered, or whatever you call that, countersunk. So that'll go against the wall like that, and then those 3 relays can sit in there quite nicely. I'll strap them in. Okay, now I've got that hooked on there, holding those relays. This one here has its own screws holding it, so those ones, they just sort of hang around in there. They'll be fine. Then if I want to change the relay, I can later, but I can at any time. This thing here maybe needs a bit of support up here somewhere. We'll see. Now you hear that noise? Can you hear that noise? Wait a second. I hooked up negative here. It's only just not very strong. Positive there. So I changed the battery around so a longer battery cable goes across here over to there, because otherwise it was not sitting very well. Anyhow, and this seems to be the way that it was originally from the factory, because that positive wire comes in right there. Okay, then turn on the electricity. Just, I haven't done anything, but there, that's what do you call that? That's the clock making noise. Wonder what happens if I turn the key. That'll be interesting. Maybe we'll get something happening on the lights and stuff here. Who knows? Oh geez, it turns. It's on, but there's no lights anywhere, like oil pressure or anything like that. So I guess the wiring to the oil pressure can't be right, or not hooked into there, or the fuse box is wrong, or that relay there still isn't hooked up. But it'll definitely turn over. Who knows where the fuse box is right, because I don't know. That's definitely the wire for the thing there. So if I turn on the key, right? Key's turned on. See, I'll see if there's energy to the whatever you call that thing over there, the coil. Okay, here we are. We'll check out the fuse box now. Key's off. Power on fuse number 1. Key's off. Power on fuse number 2. No power on fuse number 3. No power on fuse number 4. No power on fuse number 5. No power on fuse number 6. All these ones on this side have no power. Don't know why. Keys on the ACC thing. That one's power, that one's power. No power, no power, no power, no power. Keys in the on position. Power, 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 power. Nothing, 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 nothing. So, I've got something wrong somewhere, but we'll figure that out. Keys in the off position. Clock is still going. So I'll figure out what these things are supposed to run. Now when I hooked up the electricity, this windshield wiper whopper thing went back to like flat, where it's supposed to be flat, which was interesting. And the clock started making that noise, which is interesting. Okay, fuse 12, which was this one up here, is supposed to get all those ones over there. I got this all backwards. Okay, so let me see if I can get it sorted out the right way. I don't know why it'd be, the color coding on the back of the thing is different than what the actual wires do, but we'll get it sorted. Now, where does power come and go, right? So this one here, of all the wires, that red one, the only one that's hot when the key is on, where the key is off. Everything else, nothing else shows a light. Then, turn on the key, and we've got energy still on that one there with red, right? Then we got energy here, which is green. Green power in, right there. So that green power again goes to the back side of fuse number 12. Now that's a good clue. There's energy here, purple power in. Doesn't say anything about that one here. This one here, can you hear that click? That's the horn relay. So let's find out what's supposed to be the horn. So those are the ones with power. That one, that one, that one. When the key is on, so far. This one also, which is green, key on. those ones, okay. Okay, so I've got enough information now I can sort of think about stuff where fuses go. Hang on. Oh, the confusion of it all. So this, the wire that goes on here to get to fuse number 6, it says fuse number 6 in the book, but there are no connect, like this one here, those two, that's a bridged connection across here. So the power comes out here. So that must be supplying power to it. I'm not sure. Or is it supposed to be on that side? Well, let's see if I can find the wire. Maybe I'm on the wrong wire, eh? Hang on. Okay, I got the key on. I have the key on. This has got power to it. So if I first off, I'll check and see which one of these do have power, if anything, with the key on. That one's got power. Don't want to go there. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'll find the fuse number 8. Takes the clock, gets the clock. So if I find fuse number 8, it'll make the clock make noise, right? Oh, it's very difficult sometimes though. Okay. Oh dear, I knew that was going to happen. You saw that coming, didn't you? Jesus Christ. Yeah, there, had it in there, no wonder. Oh well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Got power. Okay, I'm going to turn you off a while and I'll fiddle with this stuff. Okay, this side here seems to be the power side, and that side is the fuse side. So these ones are the power side, these ones are the power side, these are all the fuse side. Okay, that is another clue I need. Okay, this red and white one here, I don't know, can you see that? Red and white here, that goes to fuse number 8 on the fused side. So if I do that, fuse number 8 is this one here on this side. So that's got to go. To get number 8, it won't get number 8. What did I say? Red and white. Red and white. Okay, something happened there. How come the light's going out? Anyway, here, I don't know what's going on with the camera. It seems to be going. How come it's nothing on the screen? Oh well, the anyhow, fuses number 1. This red one here is supposed to go to the hot side of fuse number 2. And also it'll carry to the hot side of fuse number 1. So that's good. Okay, that's where that goes. There you go. Clock makes lots of noise, but doesn't turn anywhere. Don't know why. Well, I'll figure out why eventually. And I'll leave it here today. I'm going to see if I can find a photograph of how this stuff sits in here somewhere or other. I'll just unhook the power from, undo the negative wire here. That'll turn off that clock. It goes for a while after the power goes off. Maybe I'll take that apart sometime and see what's going on with it. Anyway, that's enough of that today. So, I was gone for about a half hour or so, and the clock didn't move, so the clock is not working. And I'll see what's going on with the camera because there's nothing on the screens. Don't know why. Oh, okay. Well, it's only been like a couple of seconds for you perhaps, and it's been a couple of days for me. So here now. I did get on the internet, and I think I showed you these, like I got these couple of pictures, and they give you some clues about where stuff goes. So I'm pretty sure I've got all of the, or most of the colors in the right spot here, because I also had this diagram here, which shows what color should be where on the whole thing, and they seem to match fairly close. That one, which is green, and that one, which is white and green, both go to this speed sensitive. It's a speed sensitive relay, and that hooks into these two relays for the choke and for the whatever you call that other thing, the retard, actually advance. But that one still I know where it goes. There's still a few wires that I don't know where they go, like these ones. No idea where they go. But they do have power. These brown and white, when ignition's on, they have power. And there's a ground right beside them. This one here, yeah, the ground's on something. I wonder what they're for. Something in here that I don't see yet. Maybe it goes into the, can it reach over there somewhere? Might go into the, there's a couple of things underneath here that take power somewhere down, way down here. I don't think that would reach, but that might reach over there. Anyway, we'll sort that out as we get along. Then the other thing that, oh, and then I've got these two wires here. That one, which is brown, and that one I don't know what color that is. I'll find out, figure out where they go. Hey, I know where these goes. That goes to the windshield wiper thing right there. So, getting pretty close. So what happens when I turn on the key, if I can reach in here and do this all at once, I get the brake light comes on and stays on for a few minutes until you decide to get your seatbelt on. And I think that's the ignition light. I think the oil pressure light's there, but it doesn't come on yet. Don't know why. Because it should be on. And I don't know what these two ones down here are for. There's two lights there. I think, oh, that's battery. Maybe that's oil pressure. Maybe this is ignition or battery or whatever. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, we'll keep on working on it and see if I can figure it out some more. Okay, now this is the automatic transmission starter relay right here, this thing. So this black and green wire, which is heavy duty green wire, it goes onto number 50 on the ignition, where I had, for the standard transmission, this wire here, black and white, goes into that number 50. Then that thing is the, so it's got to, that makes it be in neutral or else it won't run. Now this, I need to put a ground here or else it won't turn, right? So I got to put a ground here on this thing. It goes into a ground somewhere up there, and that should make everything, that works all right. So this like gets power here. This is power. It takes power from that same switch, moves it over to here, and then when you turn on the ignition, this bit here will complete the circuit. That wire here, this wire goes down to the transmission, to those two connectors at the front of the transmission, and then this thing here has to be grounded, and the machine has to be in neutral or park, or else it won't power up that relay. That relay makes it so that, like, I don't think it'll spin now unless I, no, see, I've got, turn the key, it doesn't spin because it's not seeing this relay come to life. So now I'll go and I'll see if I can make that relay come to life and see if it spins. Okay, that's a little bit of progress. Of course it wouldn't spin. His battery wasn't hooked on, but the battery's hooked on now. There's everything comes to life there, and I'm turning the key, no spinning. So that's, and now, like, did I show you I've got power to the coil? Like when I turn on the key, the key's on, right? And over here now, I've got power to the coil. Too many little wires everywhere. Oh, won't show power to the coil if I don't plug it on here. This one, right? Well, negative. Okay. So then the coil on the, that's one side of the ballast resistor. Well, it's got power to the ballast resistor, but then no power beyond that. What the hell goes on now? Look at that, it's lighting up that ballast resistor like you wouldn't believe there. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, that really makes a big bang. I wonder what's going on there. I better just check to see that this thing isn't shorting itself out. Maybe I got it upside down. I don't know. Yeah, did you get any of that? Anyhow, the coil's got power through the ballast resistor. I had these things here, that wire and that wire, were shorting that out. So maybe this wire is supposed to go there. I don't know. No, this is the one that goes to the distributor, right? Methinks. Yeah, because it's separate wire and everything, and it's got the connector there for distributor. So that goes to distributor. That wire and that wire, those ones used to be hooked together. I know that for a fact. See if they go together all right. And still gets power to them. No, see, that's lighting up the ballast resistor. So that was shorting somehow or other. That's why the ballast resistor wire went bad. See if this one lights up the ballast resistor. Okay, that one there is happy. Don't know what it does, but it's a happy wire. That's no problem there. This has got power because it's coming across. Well, it shouldn't have power, should it? Should it? Don't know. Anyway, seems that this wire here is something wrong, so better check into that. Here we are. Now, before I go any farther, I turn on the electricity and this clock just starts making noise. You hear that? But it's not tick tick ticking going around in circles. Gonna take it out, see if I can fix that. Yeah, so I took the clock out. I also took the speedometer out. The speedometer, if you like, it doesn't take anything for it to, it doesn't come back to zero. So I'm gonna leave it in there for a while. It seems to be counting the miles okay, but this, I think the mechanism that makes it spin has got a pile of spider webs in it or something. I'll let it run for a while in the car. I spun it over with a drill, and it goes and it holds steady at like 90 or 100 depending on what your drill speed is. I'll wait till it's in the car and I'll see what happens. Then I'm going to see if I can make these lights light up to find out what they do. Okay, and the verdict on the clock is that even though it's quieter now, it's still not making the hands go around. And I just put some oil in these things here, because that was otherwise it's all, I don't think it's serviceable by me. But that may change someday down the road here. We'll just see. Might be able to just get another new clock for it, or be able to send it somewhere to get fixed. We don't know. Maybe Keith, can you do that? Now this is the back of the instrument cluster, such as it may be, and I've just taken out every one of these light bulb things individually, like that, and tested them all to see if they work. So, maybe I'll just stick you in the vise here and I'll show you. Hang on. That looking somewhere in the right place? Yeah. So this is my little 12 volt thing here, whatever you call it, power supply. This light here might be the only one that didn't work. Huh, that one's burned out. But that's just like a light that comes on with the nighttime lights. Yeah, there you go, that one didn't work. Everything else worked. Hang on, I'll get one that works and I'll show you. Yeah, so the light bulb works, right? Outside its enclosure, so now I'll just see if I can get it to work inside its enclosure. Must be just dirty. Here I am, got one of them hooked onto each side, and then light bulb works. So they all work. That was the only one, maybe a bit of a dirty connection or something. Yeah, this one here was one of the illuminators for the whatever you call that, illuminator for the clock, and it's definitely not working. Maybe it is, maybe it will work. Hang on, I'll play with it a bit. No, it's non-working, so I'll have to get a replacement. I think I have a bulb that fits that. I'll look at my things. Yeah, I've got an LED light here, LED bulb, and this one here. So with the LEDs, if they don't have a diode on them, you got to make sure you hook them up, whoops, the right way. So that's the positive side. If you hook them up backwards, then no lighting. But it does take amps in there, don't know why, but it just won't light. So you put them on that way and you get lighting. So I'll see if I can get it in the holder. This side's positive. Hang on. There, it's in the holder. Now shake it around a bit, doesn't like it, but see if that'll stay running. Yeah, I think we got it going there now. Anyway, there we go, light bulb fixed. Yeah, so I'm kind of at the point where I think I can put the fuel tank in, see if it'll run. I think I am anyhow. We'll just see what happens. Let me see. The fuel that's in the tank now, I'm going to see if I can drain that out somehow safely. And then I'll put the tank in, run the fuel line, see if I can get the, maybe get it primed up here. See what happens. That might be a good thing to do. Yeah, so here's my rig up. I got all the fuel down in this end, so it's balanced kind of on the fuel here. Then this will go in here. That'll go down there. See if I can get it to siphon out. Might take a bit of doing to get it to happen. Oh, I spilled a couple of drops, but mostly it's pretty good. There's all of 5 gallons came out of it pretty near. And inside there, I don't know, can you see in there? Yeah, it looks pretty good in there. I don't think I don't have a problem with that. I'm not gonna do anything about that. Just that'll be fine. And I think I could like to put a cloth in there and swish it around a bit, but I don't think that'd be any good to me, because when the gas pickup is through this thing here, and this sits above the bottom of the tank by a 1/4 inch or so, so it won't And that thing seems to be working. Maybe I'll put it in the car and test it and see if the actual fuel gauge works if I hook it up. Wait a minute. That'll be fun. There you go. Wires are hooked onto it. There's the left side here is the ground and the right side is power. So I'll turn it up that way, set it there, and see if I get a full tank of gas. Hang on. Nothing happening on the gas gauge yet, but I could be that I need to hook up some more wires up here somewhere. I'll check that into that. Well, I hooked up some more wires underneath here, that and that. A couple of barrel type connectors. Oh, I'm looking the wrong way there. Eh? Barrel type connectors. And I got the oil pressure light to come on, but nothing happening with the gas gauge. But this gauge, the temperature gauge, lights up when that happens. So that's a good sign. I don't know what. I'll check out what color gets back there for signal on the oil, on the gas tank. Yeah, so now you can see that maybe. So when the tank is empty, or when the thing is at the bottom of the tank, how many ohms? 0 ohms. Or 79.5, 79.8. At the top of the tank, 3.8. Okay, so that works as far as I can tell. Like you just one way or the other. That part in there is working. Okay, so I can put that in the tank. There, I made a little gasket to go in there out of this. Where is that stuff? That stuff there. Just took a diameter of this and for the outside and diameter of that for the inside, and a little tiny bit of extra trimming, and it came out okay. That seems to be, I think that'll seal it all right. We'll just find out, because it's one of those things that you just turn on and it seals, right? Okay, I'll put it in there. That's a sealing surface there, and it'll only go on one way. Well, it'll go on 100 ways, but I think that, are they all the same? Yeah, they all are about the same. So where, if you were wanting to be on there, right there. Where does the gas go out? Up here. Let me see. No, gas goes out right here, so yeah, by the time I turn that, that's going to be turned to there. That's where the gas goes. Okay, did that stay in there? Yeah, the gasket stayed in place, so see if I can get that turned on there. Okay, that's next. Yeah, my gasket that I made is just too thick. It wouldn't allow that to close up. So, ultra black it is. I'll put that on, and then I'll turn that in, and I'll show you when I get it in there, because too goopy for it to try and handle the camera. Yeah, there. That's the fuel out line. That's the returning vapors or fuel in line. Don't know if there's a vent up here or not, but that's something we'll worry about later. I think I have all the rubber stuff that goes on here. All right. So that's, now I'm going to take it and I'll put this stuff away. Nice little gasket I made. These things here got black goop all over them, so they go there. Anyhow, and then I'll take it out and I'll clean it off a bit, and then I'll see about getting it into the other shop. Yeah, there, that piece there, which is the shield for the muffler, goes on, and it just clips on there and then drops in, and it's held in by pressure when it's up into place there. I don't know if you can see anything over here. I don't even know where my light is. Oh yeah, I don't know, can you see any of this? Yeah, maybe. So this is where the gas tank sits on this lip here all the way around. So I should dry fit it, make sure it does fit, because I did change some of the stuff here, right? Okay, let's do that. Then after I dry fit it, then it gets a, I'll get that off of there. 438. Yeah, I guess I have time to do that. So I'll get this off of here. Then it gets a, like a sort of felt liner underneath here. But I guess I could put that on and dry fit it. That's all right. It all goes together. And then if it fits, I'll just leave it in there, right? If it works, it'll be fine. Yeah, there's the, there's the thing all the way around. And what I used, I have a bunch of, like Velcro. That's the picky end of the Velcro, and this is the non-picky end getting picked. And so I use this picky end stuff on my air conditioner up there to, you know, put a an extra filter on top of it, you know, just filter material on top of it to keep all the dirt from getting into it all the time. It seems to help quite a bit for this dirty environment. So anyhow, now I've got it all the way around there. This is just the sticky part, the non-stick part. So I got to turn it over, take this off. A little bit of gas still in it, so I'll take that off and then see if I can get it dropped into the tank. Well, there. That just dropped in like it was supposed to live there. I guess I must have made the measurements pretty close to right. That bolt hole is good. That bolt hole is good. There's a bolt hole over there. So I'll get it tomorrow. I'll get it bolt. Well, I won't. We'll see what I do. I'll put a rubber glove over this tonight just to keep the fumes out. Right? Okay, that's what we'll do. Yeah, that's enough for today. That's encouraging. I think I have that hooked up pretty close to right. A couple of my wires still not hooked up anywhere. There's all these vacuum hoses have to be figured out where they go. Got to put the distributor on if I want it to run. But getting close. I think I might end this one here, and then next week I'll work on getting the thing to run. How's that? That way I won't be rushing about it. So, hope you enjoyed it all, and see you next time. Be less paper on the car next time, I hope. See you then. Bye. Okay, now, August 2nd, 2025. And it's a very, very pleasant summer day today. No wind. No humidity. Decent temperature. Oh, it's just nice. But there are a few mosquitoes around. Oh dear. What happened to our mosquito-free paradise here? And tide is sort of, I don't know if it's going out or coming in right now, but it's outish. Yeah, perfectly flat ocean. There's a boat way out there. And a dog. Okay, see you later.